Hello viewers. We have studied about rigid bodies where the distance between the pairs of the particles does not change on application of force. In reality, it doesn't happen so. There is some or the other deformation. Today's topic is mechanical properties of solids, where we will mainly focus on the elastic property of solid. To understand this, we should know the lattice structure of solid. In solid, the atoms are bonded together by a force which is called interatomic force. Now, what is the nature of this interatomic force? Forces are categorized into four types: electromagnetic force, gravitational force, weak nuclear force, and strong nuclear force. So, this force, interatomic force, is electromagnetic in nature. Now, the atoms are continuously in motion. The motion can be or vibratory, rotatory, or translational. But after the motion, it comes back to its mean position, that is the stable position. We can understand this by an example. You are in grade 11A. In your school, a particular classroom is assigned to you. Let it be right corner of first floor. But every time you are not there in your classroom, sometimes you come out for games, for library or lab, and then again you return back to your respective classroom. Similarly is with atom. They return back to their mean position. And if all these mean positions are added together, it resembles a spring-like structure, which I will share it with you. These are the forces, spring-like forces. These are the mean positions. I can label it mean position. And this distance between the mean position, let it be R0. Now for the stability of any system or any body, potential energy should be minimum. Same is the case here. In the mean position, potential energy is minimum. Let us understand this also with the help of a graph. This is your potential energy and this is your interatomic distance. So the graph goes in this manner. This is the position of R0. Here the distance is R0. We can see here that potential energy is minimum. Potential energy is minimum. And as this R0 decreases, potential energy also increases. But because it wants to attain the minimum position, minimum potential energy position, so again it comes back here. And if again R0 is increased, see, potential energy increases, but finally it comes over here at the mean position. What about the force now? What happens at this R0? At this R0, force is 0. Here, F is 0. And here you can see F is positive. And in this part, F is negative. This positive part, you know, this is repulsive force, and negative part, this is your attractive force. So I hope by this graph, it's clear that what is mean position? Here, the potential energy is minimum. Even if we decrease it or we increase it, that is, even if we compress it or stretch it, it again comes back to its original position. And at the mean position, this force is 0. So it is very, very stable over here. Now let us understand about elastic property of solids. If I'm taking two examples over here, see, this is dark. Now if I'm applying a force over here, its shape changes. Now I am taking out this force, it is not coming back to its original position. If I am taking this sellotape and I am pressing it, applying force, it comes in this manner. And I'm taking off, it tries to come back, regain its original form, but it does not fully do that. So it is neither perfect elastic nor perfect plastic. If I take this rubber band, see, I'm stretching it and now I'm leaving it. It comes back to its original position. So this is elastic. This one is plastic. This is not perfectly elastic or perfectly plastic. Now talking about stress and strain. How does it happen? For this, we will understand what is restoring force. Why, if I'm applying force, after some time, it does not elongate. See, I'm applying force and after that, leaving it. Okay, it does not come back to its original position, but it is not elongating also anymore. Why this happens? Let us understand this. If I'm taking a wire and I'm applying some weight over here, this force is F, which is equal to your mg. And if this wire is of length L, then after elongation, see, elongation is your delta L. So total length is now L plus delta L. Here we can see that I'm applying some force over here. And after some time, this elongation has stopped. What causes this? How come this F is 0? Why? It can only happen if it is nullified by some other force. Yes, there is an inward force also in upward direction, which I can call F dash. This F dash is your restoring force, which is internal force, and this is only your interatomic force, which we studied about now. So this F dash force nullifies this force F so that net force become 0. And now no further elongation will be there. So stress, what is stress? Stress is restoring force upon area. And what is strain? Strain is the ratio of change in configuration upon the original configuration. So let us study this in detail. First is your longitudinal strain. Longitudinal strain is delta L, change in length upon original length. It has no unit because it is the ratio of similar quantity. No unit, no dimension. No dimension. Just now we saw an example of this. Now coming to volumetric strain. Volumetric strain. This is change in volume upon original volume. This will also have no unit because it is ratio of the similar quantity. See, if the volume is changed, here, its total volume is only changed over here. So this is your volumetric strain. Now coming to tangential strain or shear strain. Shear strain. Shear strain is the ratio of arc upon length, that is, it is equal to theta. This you will understand with the help of an example. Suppose this is the body and its volume or length is not changed, but I am slightly shifting it in this manner. Here. So this will be your angle theta. This is your delta L and this is your H. So this theta is called your shearing strain and this is equal to what? Arc upon radius. This is the shear strain. Now coming to stress. stress is force upon area. What will be its unit? Yes, children? Yeah, Newton m minus 2. Okay. What about its dimension? Force. What is the dimension of force? mlt minus 2. And for area, it is L square. So it comes out to be ml minus 1 t minus 2. This is the dimension. Okay. Now, first, your tensile stress. What is tensile stress? Tensile stress is the stress which causes the change in length. Okay. Here, there will be the change in length. Then we call it tensile stress. After that, volumetric stress or bulk, or you can say compressive stress. Compressive stress. This stress causes the change in volume. And then comes your shear stress. What happens over here? This causes the change in theta. Yes. See, if I'm taking this body over here, once more I will explain you. If I'm taking a body over here and I'm not changing its length and I'm not changing its volume also, only what I'm doing, I'm changing its position. See, in this manner. Fine. So this is angle is changing. So this is your shear stress. Now we will do one or two numericals over here. First one. Let us consider a steel rod of radius. I will write here given. Radius is given 8 millimeter. Length is given 2 meter and a force of 150 kilonewton stretches it along its length. Then calculate the stress percentage strain in the rod if the elongation length delta L is given here 7.46 millimeter. You have to calculate stress and percentage strain. So first of all, how to calculate this stress? Stress will be equal to what? Force upon area. And which stress? Tensile stress, because there is change in the length. So force upon area. Force is given here 150 kilonewton. So you have to change it into 150, 10 to the power of 3, and area. Area is pi r square. So 3.14 into 8. This 8 millimeter, you have to change it into meter. So 8 into 10 to the power of minus 3 r square. So square of this. So on solving, we will be getting the stress. This you can do now. And how to calculate the strain over here? Strain will be delta L upon L. So delta L is given your 7.46 millimeter. So 10 to the power of minus 3 here upon 2. Now percentage strain. Percentage strain will be only if you multiply it with 100. Now one numerical more I am giving children. That is for your homework. Calculate the, you note it down, calculate, or I will share it in a screen. I will write the question over there. Calculate the value of stress in a wire of steel having radius of 2 millimeter if 10 kilonewton force is applied to it. This is a question. You note down this question and you will be doing this as your homework. And coming to the end of this class, in the next class, we will be seeing the Hooke's law and the graph of elasticity. So I hope today's topic is clear to you all. You practice the numerical as more as you can. Thank you, children.